Dramily.com, unlimited drama series.
They left me behind like a broken suitcase. Now, I'm standing in my own driveway at 6 in the morning, watching my wife Angela load the last of the Hawaiian vacation luggage into our SUV. My luggage isn't there. My ticket got accidentally canceled yesterday. My hotel reservation somehow vanished from their system. Sorry, Nick, Angela says, not looking sorry at all. She's wearing those designer sunglasses I bought her for Christmas, the ones that cost more than most people make in a week. There's just no room now. Maybe next time. Next time. Right. My 18-year-old daughter Mia won't even look at me. She's too busy texting her college friends about her amazing Hawaii trip. My mother-in-law, Patricia, gives me this smug little wave from the passenger seat, like she's the Queen of England. Don't forget to water the plants, Angela calls out as she starts the engine. I paid for this entire trip. The flights, the resort, the rental car, everything. $12,000 on my credit card for a family vacation that apparently doesn't include me. The SUV disappears around the corner, leaving me standing there like an idiot in my bathrobe. And that's when something inside me just breaks. Not breaks like crying or screaming, breaks like a dam that's been holding back a flood for 20 years. All those times Angela forgot to invite me to her work parties. All those family dinners where I was treated like the hired help. All those conversations that stopped when I walked into the room. I walk back into the house and call my credit card company. Yes, I need to cancel some charges, I tell the customer service rep. Fraudulent purchases. 20 minutes later, I've canceled every single payment for their Hawaii trip. The flights, the hotel, the car rental, everything. Let them figure it out when they land. Then I call my lawyer, Dave Dawson. We went to high school together, and he's the only person I trust in this godforsaken town. Dave, it's Nick. I need you to do something for me. Sure, buddy. What's up? I want you to file for legal separation, today. And I want you to freeze all our joint accounts. There's a pause. Nick, are you sure about this? Maybe you should think it over. I've been thinking it over for 20 years. File the papers. After I hang up, I go upstairs to Angela's precious walk-in closet. All those designer dresses and shoes, organized by color and season like she's running a boutique. I start pulling everything off the hangers and stuffing it into garbage bags. I'm not destroying anything. That would be illegal. I'm just relocating her belongings to the garage. By noon, I've changed all the locks on the house. By evening, I've canceled the cable, internet, and her gym membership. Everything that was in my name, gone. Then I pack a single suitcase and drive to the airport. Where to? The ticket agent asks. Anywhere but here. I end up on a flight to Bangkok. Why Thailand? Because it's literally on the other side of the world from my problems. For the next 12 months, I disappear completely. No phone calls, no emails, no social media. I travel through Southeast Asia, learning Muay Thai in a gym that smells like sweat and determination. I teach English to kids who appreciate every lesson. I eat street food and sleep in hostels and slowly remember who I used to be before I became Angela's forgotten husband. The old Nick was soft around the middle and soft in the head. He believed in fairness and compromise and doing the right thing. He thought if he just worked harder and loved more, everything would work out. The new Nick is lean and hard and absolutely done with other people's bullshit. When I finally come home, I'm ready for war. The taxi drops me off in front of my house at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. I've been gone exactly 1 year and 3 days. My house looks different. There's a Tesla in the driveway that isn't mine. The front yard has been landscaped with expensive-looking shrubs. Someone installed a new mailbox with a different house number on it. I walk up to my own front door and try my key. It doesn't work. That's interesting. I ring the doorbell and wait. After a few minutes, the door opens, and I'm face to face with a guy I don't recognize. He's about 30, with the kind of artificially white teeth and spray tan that screams motivational speaker or life coach or some other professional bullshit artist. Can I help you? He asks. I live here, I say. He looks confused. No, you don't. This is my house. I live here with my girlfriend Angela. My girlfriend Angela? That's Rich. What's your name? I ask. Richie Valdez. Look, buddy, I don't know what your deal is, but you need to leave before I call the cops. Richie Valdez. Even his name sounds like a scam. Go ahead and call them, I say. Ask for Officer Martinez. Tell him Nick Sullivan is home. Richie's face goes pale. Nick Sullivan? But Angela said you were dead? Missing? Run off with a cocktail waitress? What's the story this week? Before he can answer, I hear Angela's voice from inside the house. Richie, who is it? She appears behind him, wearing a silk robe that I definitely didn't buy her. When she sees me, she goes white as a sheet. Hello, sweetheart, I say. Miss me? Angela's mouth opens and closes like a fish out of water. Nick? But how? Where have you been? Around. Nice place you've got here. Very homey. I especially like what you've done with my bedroom. Your bedroom? Richie says. Angela, what's he talking about? I pull out my phone and show him a photo of the house deed. This is what I'm talking about, Richie. This house belongs to me. Has for 15 years. Angela's name isn't on the title. The color drains from Richie's face. He turns to Angela. You said your husband abandoned the house. You said it was yours. He did abandon it, Angela says quickly. He's been gone for over a year. No contact, no support, nothing. Legally, that's abandonment. I laugh. Actually, legally, that's a sabbatical. I've been paying the mortgage and property taxes the whole time. Through my lawyer, who, by the way, is on his way over here with some paperwork you're both going to find very interesting. As if on cue, Dave Dawson's car pulls into the driveway. He gets out carrying a briefcase and wearing the biggest grin I've seen in years. Morning, Nick, he says. Ready to reclaim your castle? More than ready. Dave hands Angela an official-looking document. Angela Sullivan, you're being served with an eviction notice. You have 24 hours to remove yourself and your belongings from this property. You can't do this, Angela says, but her voice is shaking. Actually, I can, I say. It's my house. You're trespassing. Richie here is also trespassing, along with whatever other freeloaders you've been hosting in my absence. Richie starts backing toward his Tesla. Look, man, I didn't know. Angela told me her husband was out of the picture permanently. Well, now you know different. I suggest you start packing. This is insane, Angela says. Nick, we need to talk about this like adults. Adults? I say. Adults don't steal their husband's house and move their boyfriend in while he's away. Adults don't lie to their children about where their father went. Adults don't forge signatures on legal documents. Her face goes even paler. How did you know about the forged power of attorney? The fake death certificate you tried to file? The insurance claim you submitted? I smile. I may have been gone, Angela, but I wasn't asleep. I had people watching, people documenting, people taking very detailed notes about your activities. Dave hands her another set of papers. These are the fraud charges being filed against you at the district attorney's office. You might want to get yourself a lawyer, a good one. By now, neighbors are starting to come out of their houses to watch the show. Mrs. Bell from next door is practically hanging over her fence with excitement. The mailman has stopped his truck to get a better view. You're making a scene, Angela hisses. I'm making a point, I say. You wanted me gone? Congratulations, you got the old Nick out of your life permanently. But you also got something you didn't bargain for, which is the new Nick. And the new Nick doesn't forgive, doesn't forget, and doesn't give second chances. I walk past them into my own house. It's been completely redecorated in Angela's taste, which is to say it looks like a magazine spread with no personality whatsoever. There are pictures of Angela and Richie on my mantelpiece, pictures of them at restaurants, on vacation, at parties I wasn't invited to even when I lived here. You have 24 hours, I call over my shoulder. After that, anything left behind becomes my property. And trust me, you don't want to find out what I do with things I consider garbage. The next morning, I'm sitting on my front porch drinking coffee and watching Angela and Richie load boxes into a U-Haul truck. It's better than cable television. Angela keeps shooting me dirty looks, like this is somehow my fault. Richie just looks confused and betrayed, which is actually pretty funny considering he's been screwing another man's wife in another man's house for the past year. My daughter Mia shows up around noon. She's home from college for spring break, and she looks like she's been crying. Dad? She says tentatively. Is it really you? In the flesh, kiddo. She runs up and hugs me, and for a moment I remember why I used to care about keeping this family together. Where have you been? She asks. Mom said you just disappeared. She said you might be dead. Your mother says a lot of things. Most of them aren't true. Mia pulls back and looks at me. Really looks at me. You look different, younger, and stronger. I feel different. Are you really kicking Mom out? Your mother kicked herself out when she decided to play house with her boyfriend in my house. Mia glances over at the U-Haul. She says it's all a misunderstanding. She says you abandoned us. I went on a trip, Mia, a long trip. I paid the bills the whole time I was gone. I never filed for divorce. I never signed away my rights to anything. Your mother chose to interpret my absence as abandonment because it was convenient for her narrative. But why didn't you call? Why didn't you tell us where you were? That's the question I've been dreading. How do I explain to my daughter that I needed to disappear completely to remember who I was? How do I tell her that her mother had made me feel so invisible in my own life that actual invisibility seemed like an improvement? Because I needed to figure some things out, I say finally. And I needed to do it without anyone trying to talk me out of it. Angela walks over, carrying a box of what looks like kitchen stuff. Mia, honey, don't listen to him. Your father is having some kind of breakdown. This whole thing is just a cry for attention. A cry for attention? I laugh. Angela, if I wanted attention, I would have stuck around for your little performance last year. I would have made a scene when I found out about Richie. I would have fought for my marriage like some pathetic sitcom husband. You should have fought for your marriage, she snaps. Why? So you could keep treating me like hired help while you screwed around behind my back? Mia's eyes go wide. Mom, you cheated on Dad? Angela's face turns red. It's not that simple, honey. Your father and I grew apart. We hadn't been happy for years. Richie and I just connected. Connected, I repeat. Is that what we're calling it now? Richie appears from the house carrying Angela's jewelry box. He looks like he wants to be anywhere else in the world. How long? Mia asks her mother. How long what? How long have you been cheating on Dad? Angela glances around at the neighbors who are still watching from their yards. We shouldn't discuss this here. We shouldn't discuss it anywhere, I say. Because it's not a discussion, it's history. Ancient history. I stand up and walk over to Richie. He's about my height but softer, like he spends more time in tanning beds than gyms. Richie, I say conversationally, I'm curious about something. He sets down the jewelry box carefully. Yeah? Did Angela tell you I was dead? Or just missing? He glances at Angela, who's shaking her head frantically. She said you left, that you weren't coming back, but did she say I was dead? Look, man, I don't want any trouble. Too late for that, Richie. You're already in trouble. The question is how much trouble? I pull out my phone and show him a photo. It's a screenshot of a Facebook post from Angela's account, dated 6 months ago. It's a picture of her and Richie at some restaurant. And the caption reads, "Finally ready to start dating again. It's been so hard since Nick passed, but I think he would want me to be happy." Richie's face goes white. Angela, you told people your husband was dead? I can explain, Angela says quickly. This should be good, I say. You were gone, Nick. No contact, no explanation, nothing. For all I knew, you were dead. I was grieving. I was trying to move on. You were trying to move on, I repeat. By filing a fake death certificate with the county clerk's office, the silence that follows is deafening. Even the neighbors seem to lean in closer. You did what? Mia whispers. Angela's mouth opens and closes, but no words come out. I turn to Dave Dawson, who's been standing by his car, watching the whole thing with obvious enjoyment. Dave, remind me what the penalty is for filing false documents with a government agency. In this state, up to 5 years in prison and a $50,000 fine, Dave says cheerfully. Richie drops the jewelry box. It hits the concrete and springs open, spilling expensive necklaces and earrings across the driveway. You filed a fake death certificate? Angela, what the hell is wrong with you? I didn't think he was coming back, she says weakly. So you decided to make it official? I ask. Very efficient. I admire that in a person. I walk over and start picking up the scattered jewelry. This is interesting. I don't remember buying you this necklace, Angela, or these earrings, Or this bracelet. Richie bought those for me. Richie bought them with what money? His motivational speaking empire? Richie shifts uncomfortably. I do okay. I'm sure you do. Especially when you're not paying rent or utilities or groceries because you're living in a dead man's house. I hold up a particularly expensive-looking diamond necklace. This must have cost, what, 5,000, 10,000? It was a gift, Angela says. From a man who thought he was dating a widow, I say. A grieving widow who needed comfort and support and expensive jewelry to help her through her tragic loss. Richie looks like he's about to throw up. Angela, tell me you didn't what, Richie? Didn't take advantage of your generous nature? Didn't let you spend your life savings on a woman who was still legally married? Didn't let you move into her husband's house and sleep in her husband's bed and drive around town like you were the man of the house? Richie turns to Angela with something like horror in his eyes. You used me. No, baby, it's not like that. It's exactly like that, I say. Angela's very good at using people. It's her special talent. She used me for 20 years, and when I stopped being useful, she upgraded to you. That's not true, Angela protests.
She just gave me a massage, that's it!
Remember, I won't be a fool!
Watch more on Grammarly.com.
Isn't it? Tell me, Richie, how much money have you spent on Angela in the past year? Rough estimate. Richie's face is getting redder by the minute. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. See, I'm curious about whether you were just her boyfriend or her full-service ATM. Shut up, Nick, Angela snaps. Make me, I say. And that's when things get interesting. Angela takes a step toward me, and for a moment I think she might actually try to hit me. But then she seems to remember that we have an audience, and she forces herself to smile. Nick, honey, I think we should talk about this privately. Like civilized people. Civilized people don't commit fraud, Angela. I made a mistake. I was emotional. I was grieving. I wasn't thinking clearly. But we can fix this. We can work this out. The only thing we're going to work out is your departure time. You've got about 6 hours left on your eviction notice. Richie is still staring at Angela like he's seeing her for the first time. You really told people your husband was dead? It was just a few close friends, Angela says. I was trying to explain why I was suddenly single. I didn't want people to think I was a cheater. But you are a cheater, Mia says quietly. Angela whirls on her daughter. Mia, you don't understand. Marriage is complicated. Your father and I had problems long before Richie came along. What kind of problems? I ask. The kind where I worked 60 hours a week to pay for your shopping addiction. The kind where I cooked dinner every night because you were too busy with your book club. The kind where I took care of your mother when she had surgery because you couldn't be bothered to take time off work. That's not fair, Angela says. Fair, I laugh. You want to talk about fair? Let's talk about the joint savings account you emptied while I was gone. The one with $40,000 in it. Richie's jaw drops. $40,000. Gone, I say. Every penny. Spent on what, Angela? Richie's Tesla? Your new wardrobe? That jewelry you're so fond of? Angela's face is bright red now. I had expenses. I had to live. You had to live in style, I correct. On my money, while telling everyone I was dead. I thought you were dead, she insists. Bullshit. You hoped I was dead. There's a difference. Dave Dawson clears his throat. Nick, we should probably wrap this up. I've got the restraining order paperwork ready to file if needed. Restraining order, Angela says. Against who? Against you, I say. In case you get any ideas about coming back here uninvited. This is my home too. No, it isn't. It never was. Your name isn't on the deed, remember. You insisted on that when we bought the place. You said it would be better for tax purposes. I can see the exact moment when Angela remembers that conversation. Her face goes pale. That was 15 years ago, she whispers. Yes, it was. And it was your idea. You were so smart, always thinking ahead, always planning for every contingency. I smile. Except this one. Richie starts walking toward his Tesla. I'm done with this. Angela, figure out your own mess. I'm going home. Richie, wait, Angela calls after him. Don't leave me here alone with him. Alone with me, I say. Angela, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to touch you. I'm not even going to talk to you after today. You're going to disappear from my life, just like I disappeared from yours. The only difference is, when you disappear, it's going to be permanent. Richie gets in his Tesla and starts the engine. Angela runs over and pounds on his window. Don't do this, she pleads. We can work this out. We can figure it out together. Richie rolls down the window. Work what out, Angela? You lied to me about everything. Your husband isn't dead. You're not a widow. You're just a cheater who stole her husband's money and house and life. I love you, Angela says desperately. You love my money, Richie says, just like you loved his money. The only difference is, he was stupid enough to marry you first. He drives away, leaving Angela standing in the driveway, holding a box of kitchen utensils and looking like her world just ended. Here's my dry clothes. It did. Mia walks over to me. Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't know any of this was happening. I mean, that's not your fault, kiddo. Your mother is very good at keeping secrets. What happens now? Now your mother finds somewhere else to live, and I get on with my life. What about us? What about our family? I look at my daughter, really look at her. She's got Angela's eyes, but my stubborn chin. She's smart and kind, and deserves better than to be caught in the middle of her parents' war. You're always welcome here, Mia. This is your home too. But your mother made her choices, and now she has to live with them. Angela walks over, still carrying her box. Nick, please. I know I made mistakes, but we can fix this. We can go to counseling. We can start over. Start over. I shake my head. Angela, you declared me dead. You moved another man into my house. You spent my money, lied to my daughter, and tried to steal my life. There's no coming back from that. Everyone deserves a second chance. You had 20 years of second chances. You used them all up. She sets down the box and pulls out her phone. I'm calling my lawyer. Good idea. You're going to need one. As Angela walks away to make her call, Mia looks up at me with tears in her eyes. Is this really how it ends? With lawyers and eviction notices and everyone hating everyone? No, I say. This is how it begins. Begins what? I put my arm around my daughter's shoulders and look at my house, my real house, the one I worked 15 years to pay for. The rest of my life. 3 weeks later, I'm sitting in my kitchen drinking coffee and reading the local newspaper when I come across an interesting item in the police blotter. Local woman arrested for insurance fraud, the headline reads. I smile and keep reading. Angela Marie Sullivan, 38, of Maple Street, was arrested Tuesday on charges of filing false insurance claims and submitting fraudulent documentation to government agencies. Sullivan allegedly filed a death certificate for her husband and attempted to collect on his life insurance policy while he was traveling abroad. She was released on $10,000 bail and is scheduled to appear in court next month. I fold the paper and finish my coffee. It's a beautiful morning. My phone rings. It's Dave Dawson. Morning, Nick. I assume you saw the paper? I did. Very informative. The DA wants to know if you're planning to press charges for the theft of the joint account funds. What do you think? I think Angela Sullivan has caused you enough trouble for one lifetime. I also think she's about to have bigger problems than you can give her. Such as the IRS audit that's about to land on her doorstep. Turns out she didn't report any of that $40,000 as income, and she didn't pay taxes on the cash gifts from her boyfriend. I laugh. You've been busy. I'm thorough. It's what you pay me for. After I hang up, I walk out to my front porch to get the mail. Mrs. Bell from next door waves at me from her garden. Morning, Nick. Beautiful day, isn't it? It certainly is, Mrs. Bell. I hope you don't mind me saying, but you look much happier these days. I feel much happier. Good for you. That woman never deserved you anyway. I sort through the mail and find a letter from Mia. She's back at college now, but she writes me actual letters on paper like we're living in the 1950s. I like it. Dear Dad, the letter begins. I wanted to thank you again for letting me stay with you during spring break. It was good to spend time together without all the drama. I also wanted to let you know that I've been thinking a lot about what happened, and I understand why you did what you did. Mom made her choices, and she has to live with the consequences. I just wish things could have been different. The letter goes on for 3 pages, talking about her classes and her friends and her plans for the summer. She wants to come home and get a job in town, maybe work at the bookstore or the coffee shop. She wants to spend time with her old man. I fold the letter carefully and put it in my shirt pocket. My phone buzzes with a text message from an unknown number. This is Richie. Can we talk? I think about it for exactly 3 seconds, then delete the message. Another text comes through immediately. Please, I need to ask you something. I delete that one too. A third message. It's about Angela. There's something you need to know. That one I answer. No, there isn't. My phone rings. I let it go to voicemail. Then I listen to the message. Nick, it's Richie. Look, I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but there's something going on with Angela that you should know about. She's been calling me non-stop since I left. She's saying crazy things. She's threatening to hurt herself. I think she might be having some kind of breakdown. I just thought you should know, in case Mia tries to contact you about it. I delete the voicemail and block Richie's number. If Angela wants to have a breakdown, that's her business. I'm done being responsible for her emotional well-being. An hour later, my phone rings again. This time it's Mia. Dad, I just got a call from Mom. She's really upset. She's staying at some motel downtown, and she sounds terrible. I think maybe we should help her. Help her how? I don't know. Maybe let her come home until she gets back on her feet? Mia, honey, that's not going to happen. But she's my mother, and she's my ex-wife, the woman who tried to have me declared dead so she could steal my life insurance money. There's a long pause. I know what she did was wrong, but she's still family. No, she isn't. Not anymore. She made that choice when she chose Richie over me. She made it again when she chose money over honesty. And she made it a third time when she chose to lie to you about where I went and why. So that's it. You're just going to let her destroy herself. I'm not letting her do anything, Mia. I'm not stopping her from doing anything either. Your mother is an adult. She made adult decisions. Now she gets to live with adult consequences. That's really cold, Dad. Maybe, but it's also really honest. And after 20 years of being married to someone who wouldn't know honesty if it bit her on the ass, I'm finding that honesty is pretty refreshing. Mia hangs up on me. I sit on my porch for a while, thinking about what she said. Am I being too hard on Angela? Am I being cruel? Then I remember coming home to find another man living in my house. I remember the fake death certificate, and the stolen money, and the year of lies Angela told our daughter about where I went and why. No, I'm not being too hard on her. If anything, I'm being too easy. 2 months later, I'm at the grocery store when I run into Sophie Martinez, Angela's former best friend. Sophie used to come to our house for dinner parties and book club meetings. She used to tell me what a lucky woman Angela was to have such a devoted husband. Nick, she says, like we're old friends. How are you? You look fantastic. I feel fantastic, Sophie. How's Angela doing? Sophie's smile falters. Oh, you haven't heard? Heard what? She's having a rough time. The legal troubles, the money problems, losing her job. It's been really hard on her. She lost her job? The law firm let her go when the fraud charges became public. Bad for their reputation, you know. And Richie, well, he's completely out of the picture now. Won't even take her calls. I nod sympathetically. That's too bad. She's been asking about you, wondering if maybe you two could talk, work things out. Work what out, Sophie? Your marriage, your life together. She realizes she made mistakes, Nick. She wants to make amends. I lean against my shopping cart and study Sophie's face. She's always been a gossip, always been dramatic, but there's something different about her today, something calculating. Sophie, can I ask you something? Of course. How long have you known about Angela and Richie? Her face goes pale. What do you mean? I mean, when did you find out about the affair? Before I left town, or after? After. Definitely after. Really, because I have some interesting photos from Angela's phone. Photos she sent to Richie while I was still living at home. Photos that were also sent to someone else. Someone with your phone number. Sophie takes a step back. I don't know what you're talking about. I pull out my phone and show her a screenshot. It's a text message from Angela to Richie, dated 6 months before I left town. The message is explicit and leaves no doubt about their relationship. Below it is another number the message was forwarded to. That's your number, isn't it, Sophie? She stares at the screen, her mouth opening and closing like a fish. You knew, I say. You knew the whole time. You were helping her cover it up. Nick, I can explain. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you've got a great story about how you were just being a good friend. How you were trying to protect everyone involved. How it wasn't your place to get involved. It wasn't my place, she says weakly. But it was your place to help her lie to me. It was your place to help her sneak around behind my back. It was your place to sit at my dinner table and smile at me while you knew my wife was fucking another man. Sophie looks around nervously. We're in the produce section, and other shoppers are starting to stare. Please keep your voice down, she whispers. Why? Embarrassed? Ashamed? Good, you should be. I lean closer to her. Here's what I think happened, Sophie. I think you've been Angela's enabler for years. I think you helped her justify every lie, every betrayal, every selfish decision she ever made. I think you told her she deserved better than me. I think you encouraged her to cheat. That's not true, isn't it? Tell me, Sophie, what did you get out of it? Did it make you feel important, being the keeper of secrets? Did it give you power over both of us? She starts to back away, but I follow her. Or maybe it was simpler than that. Maybe you were just jealous. Jealous that Angela had a husband who loved her, even if she didn't deserve it. Jealous that she had a nice house and financial security and someone who would do anything for her. Stop it, Sophie says. So you helped her destroy it. You helped her throw away 20 years of marriage for what? A guy with a Tesla and a fake tan? A guy who ran away the minute things got complicated? Sophie turns and starts walking quickly toward the exit. I don't follow her. I don't need to. I've made my point. That evening, I'm cooking dinner when Mia calls. Dad, Sophie Martinez just called me. She said you confronted her at the grocery store. She said you were really mean to her. I wasn't mean to her, honey. I was honest with her. She said you accused her of helping Mom cheat. I didn't accuse her. I proved it. There's a difference. How did you prove it? I tell her about the text messages and the forwarded photos, about the timeline that proves Sophie knew about the affair from the beginning. Oh, Mia says quietly, I didn't know that. There's a lot you don't know, kiddo. Your mother had a whole network of people helping her lie to me. Sophie was just the ringleader. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because you didn't need to know before. You were dealing with enough already. And now? Now Sophie is trying to manipulate you into feeling sorry for your mother. She's trying to get you to pressure me into taking Angela back. I wanted you to understand who you're dealing with. There's a long pause. Dad, can I ask you something? Anything. Do you ever miss her? Do you ever miss being married? I think about it. Do I miss having someone to share meals with? Do I miss having someone to talk to at